Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Courtney and I hope you're doing really well. So it is time, guys, it's time. I know you've been waiting so very patiently and you've been amazing about it, but it's time to get started on our sewing books or whatever book you managed to grab when you decided to play along. And last video I got you to secure the scraps. Now today we're going to start just placing things on pages, not thinking. As soon as you think, then you're going to lose the joy of it. Now normally a lot of artists start with backgrounds. I don't. I start with collage and sort of put things down, and then I work my backgrounds around those sorts of things. Now I thought I did it the other way around, but when flicking through my old journal I realized that I didn't, and I always built them up from scraps. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to make these videos really quite short and straight to the point so that they're easy for me to edit and they're quicker for me to get out. Now I'm using a glue stick today because my heat gun is still packed in the menagerie of boxes that are left in the garage. But I would normally use matte medium or like a PVA glue or something like that, because to cover big surfaces, a paintbrush and matte medium or some form of liquid glue is faster. But because I can't find my my heat gun, I have to do it this way. Otherwise it would take, I'd be sitting here for ages going back and forward between waiting for things to dry. So we're not going to do these pages first. I always seem to jump into where the pattern bits are. So we're here, and as you can see, I've been collecting my own menagerie of things. So I have a whole heap of stuff here. Some will get used, some won't get used. I've just sort of been keeping them around and stuff like that because I told you guys to do it, so I'd better take my own advice and do it as well. Now, the thing that I like to do is just sort of play and add bits and pieces, cut things down. I sort of don't think, and I work on between 3 and 4 pages at a time. That way, if you get stuck on something, you're not sitting on the same page. If you sit on the same page for too long, you're going to shut the book, give up and walk away. So you need to work fast, work without thinking, maybe put on some music while you're doing it so you get more into the music and just sort of get into the zone and the rhythm of pasting and putting things down. And then it's sort of a surprise when you go back and go, okay, so how am I going to work with this? So this journal is a no fuss, no stress journal. The moment you start stressing, walk away for a bit, because I do not want this project to be stressful at all. It's not what I'm about. So now I have got magazine clippings. I've also got collage sheets that I've purchased from Tisha Moore. I will be doing a whole heap of my own collage sheets with my art, my drawings, all that sort of thing. They are coming. I'm in the working on them now, so I'm going to put them up in an Etsy store for you guys. They'll be a digital download, so they're really cheap to do. And I've got printed papers that I've received from Happy Mail. I've got double-sided scrapbook paper. That's always a really good start. I know a lot of you crafters have a billion pieces of scrapbook paper. It's always cool and handy to have. I've got more magazine clippings, and then if you're really stuck, start photocopying pages of your journals. This is from an art journal. This is from my Midori. You've seen my blue haired girl. She pops up a lot, and I'm thinking about putting her on the cover of this journal because so just scan them, print them, and use them as collage. If you're stuck, don't have magazines, that sort of thing, you can always rework. See, she's everywhere. You can always rework your work. There's no wrong way or right way to do it. So I actually might cut her out and put her down on the page. Now when I'm cutting out things, I'm going to speed it up a little bit so you're not here listening to me cut and paste, that sort of thing. I'm a big fan of reusing your own work. So she fits. I might cut off that white strip and the black strip there. At this stage, you can use a credit card or a gift card or something to sort of press down the edges of your paper. I normally do, but because I'm slack today, I haven't got one handy. I don't even have a ruler. I'm slacker. I will probably go down over these images with some matte medium off camera, just to sort of even out my edges so they don't pop up, because there's nothing worse than your edges popping up. But for the sake of this video, we're using a good old glue stick. So if you're thinking this project is not for you because you can't draw or anything like that and don't want to attempt it, that is why I am doing collage sheets to sort of help you along the way. Some of them will be borders, some of them will be my little nook dwellers, paint swatches, you name it, all sorts of ephemera that you can cut up and make your own. I really also love bold text in my pages. So when I'm looking at magazines and pulling magazines out, I always sort of gravitate towards huge headings and that sort of thing, because I think they look really cool. You can also use washi tape as your scraps. I know a lot of us have a billion pieces of washi tape. I sure hell do. And I'm just taping down that excess piece of paper where we've ripped a page out. Sometimes I don't really worry about it and I use it as a tip-in platform, but sometimes they sort of annoy me, so I do tape them down. And today we're going to tape them down. No thinking, I'm not thinking, I'm just sort of grabbing things. Let me see what I've got stuff hidden under here as well. As you can see, I do really like big bold lettering. So if you are looking at things in magazines, if there's a title that you think would look cool on a journal page, cut it out. There's no wrong or right way to do this. Like I said, stress-free. Just start building things. We're going to go in with paint and color and drawings and doodles and all that sort of thing. I'll also be scanning some of these pages as they come together and turning those into collage pieces, but not for a while. Some of my old sewing book I will turn into collage pieces for you guys. Like something like this, I worked on some stickers for Chic Sparrow, and this was like a printout. I will probably cut a line of them up and then stick them down. So I try not to waste things. If I print something as a tester to sort of quality test things, I will put them into my scrap folder and use them in my art. Bit like junk journaling. I know a lot of people are into junk journaling at the moment. Mitz, I'm talking to you, girl. I know you're a big junk journaler at the moment. So I'm working off camera because that's what I seem to do. These are just quick Sharpie drawings just for some interest. What we might do is we might give her a body. So we'll put her here with her head tilted. Excuse me. I think I'm getting a cold, but we're just going to ignore that. And so if we could give her a really funky looking body. See, this is me going into think mode. And when you go into think mode, you stop doing. I really love this guy. I can't wait to turn him into a collage element. Actually, I might leave him alone so that he scans beautifully. Okay, so let's give her, ooh, like a ball gown almost. So I'm going to glue that all down. So you can, if you've got faces or stamps with faces, you can stamp on paper and cut them out. You can do that. There's no harm in that at all. And then we can do something later with that. And then all I do is, because I'm too lazy to cut things, is I just tape it up there, add a little bit more glue so it does stick, and then it becomes an element on the next page. So where are we? Let's work on here. I think I might, I know I said I wasn't going to work on the front page, but this was here because I absolutely love it. And I'm also thinking of adding this just to the front as like a title page almost. On here. Yeah, I might do that. I'll quickly do that now while I'm thinking about it, because I'll forget and then use it somewhere else and then I'll be miffed at myself. So I have a lot of lessons coming up for you guys. I am doing lots of lessons on how to build pages, what sort of things I do. So once we've got our collages and stuff done, I want to take you guys on a photo journey, and that lesson will be, are you photo ready? As you know, I have taken photos all of my life. They are in all of my journals in one way or another, and I always include photographs in my work. So it's because I like to link my art to my personal life, and by doing that I add photographs of my self-portraits, pictures of my kids, pictures of just anything. So Are You Photo Ready is going to be one of the next steps for you guys. So you need to sort of gather some photographs. I have some here, but I have more than enough. I always have chunks and chunks of photographs ready and on the go. These are a lot of spare wedding photographs, but I probably won't use those because I'm kind of sick of seeing them, because I printed so many. I'm sick of seeing leftovers. So, see, even like self-portraits from my Midori, that will be my way of getting a photograph into there. So Are You Photo Ready is one of the lessons. We're going to do tip-ins make the world go round. As you know, I've been dubbed the tip-in queen, and I still, even though I tip in like mad in my normal everyday journal, I also tip in my art journal. I think it makes it fun, interactive, like a really cool way to add smaller works of art. We're going to work on index cards and tip them in, and we're going to work on tags, whatever we find basically. We're going to make some really cool little art and tip them in. So we're going to do lots of things like that. I'm going to be working in a whole heap of different mediums. So when we do more on our backgrounds, I'm going to show you a whole heap of different ways to use different mediums. So I can work with markers, I can work with acrylic paint, I can work with pencil, watercolors, you name it. So if you don't have one of the items, there's probably something in my stash that I do have that you will have as well. Now I know this is covering up a lot of the sewing book pages, but believe me, sometimes that's nice to have little peeking bits of the text coming through or not. But when we do some of our drawing, there will be a lot of the pages coming through. Like, when I do drawing, sometimes you can see bits and pieces of the sewing book come through, and then there'll be pages where I completely cover it up with gesso and paint and acrylic paint and watercolor, this sort of thing. We're going to do some doodling backgrounds and use that as our like jumping off stuff. So there's a lot of different things we're going to cover. We're going to do monochrome madness, where we work in only a small color palette. Lots and lots of ideas that have been bustling around my head for you guys, whether you want to stick around and join in the fun. Plus, I want to see these books as you work on them. I want to see them. I want to see links to them. I want you guys to use the hashtag. Let me see if I can think of one that's awesome. No. Oh, pressure. If I think of one while I'm working, I'll tell you, but I do want to find a way to see all your books as you're working on them. So this is a Tisha Moore collage page. Her collage sheets are amazing. They're so quirky and off-center. They're not to everyone's taste, but I really enjoy them. I will be adding a lot of my own drawings as well. We'll get to that. I'm not so much as going to do drawing tutorials because I think it's hard to do those because I've developed, you know, a style over so many years. It's hard to sort of teach you that style. So, I mean, you will see some Nook dwellers, that's for sure, because they're my babies. And they were all throughout my last journal, and they'll be all throughout this journal too. They're just sort of easy, cute little things that sort of pop their heads up. Okay, so we're at 16 minutes. So let's see what else we can. I do really love the textures as well, so I'm trying to find some texture. I don't want heavy. If you don't want heavy edges on things, just tear them. Sometimes it's best than to have heavy, hardcore edges on things. And we'll use this. I like creating characters, unusual characters, because I can draw pretty girls, believe me, I can, but sometimes I don't want to draw the pretty girls. I want to do weird and wonderful circus freaks. Not everything is pretty girl, and there's so many pretty girls on YouTube. It's time to do something different. So, where else have we? I have all these pictures of feet, so we might add some of those somewhere. This one. I like to, if I'm going to do layering, I like to sort of overlap things so they start getting connected, so they're not just separate things on the page. We're also going to learn that sort of tip with photographs, how I work my photographs into my pages. I don't just sort of plop them on, I try and make them part of the artwork. Let's see. Oh, good on me. I taped 2 pages together. What am I going to do there? I will find my giant tape, and that will become a pocket page up the top. So we'll just tape that over like so. So, unintentional pocket. So we'll just use that as a pocket. I'll tape the bottoms up, so if there's something in there that we don't want disappearing, tape it. These thick washi tapes are so awesome. I highly recommend getting some. They I will need more. I've only got like 2 because budget mummy only buys things in small quantities, but then I regret it. My bank balance is happy about it, but so that has now become an unintentional pocket, and I will try and think of something awesome to do in there. Maybe I'll do some little pop-up characters that if you wanted to. We'll see. I'll think of something, but that's what happens when you work quick and you don't think. Sometimes you make little mistakes, but then mistakes can turn into shining glories. So let's do one more. No, I don't want to use the goat man or whatever he is. I had a cat head, didn't I? There he is. So these are just little Sharpie drawings, as I said before, on watercolor paper, and just sort of cut out. We're going to do some spraying. I might have to do the spraying outside because I do like my pretty desk, and I don't want it to get wrecked with sprays like my last desk. So I probably will spray outside. And and let's cut her out. No, let's cut those antlers off because they're not really part of her. They're part of the blue girl. Stick her in there. Adding old art is a great way to sort of create new stuff. And this is the way that doing it this way means you're not, I mean, you already don't have a blank page because you're using a sewing book. And that is one of the reasons why I did it. There's already stuff on the page, you know, you're not starting with a stark white crazy thing. This is some, I was gonna do jelly prints for you, but I lent my jelly print thing to my mum and I haven't got it back yet. Mom, give it back. I know you're watching this, I know. Napkins. I know a lot of people use napkins and in their backgrounds. I'm not a fan because I don't like the feel of it. Like I don't like the texture of it. I love the look of it, but I don't like how it feels. So these are things that have been sent to me in Happy Mail, and I'm going to turn these into tip-ins as well. So this is like an envelope, I think, but I'll probably just stick it down. And these are just plain bits of card, and we're going to do something very similar in the videos. Oh my goodness, my nails are getting too long, so I start clawing at things like a robot. Let's stick a little house on her shoulder. Because in your art journal you can do whatever you want, and if she wants to, it'll be like her little pet house. Instead of a pet bird, she's gonna have a pet house. Oh my god, I'm gonna add wings to it later. Remind me in the next video that I want to put wings on the house, guys. Okay, I think that'll be it for now. So in the span of about 20 minutes in real time, some of this will be fast forwarded when I'm not talking. I managed to talk through most of that. We have gotten, if you find a really nice quote that you really love and you've got a really beautiful background, stick it on the front so it inspires you to keep going. And that's what I love. So we've got a couple of sparesies. So we've started on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and this kind of is a fake 10 because there's one element on it, so let's be honest. So I want you guys to sit down, put some music on and have it up loud. I don't want you to distract yourself. I don't want you to think. Please don't think. Thinking is the enemy in this sort of thing. It's the enemy. As soon as you think, you'll be there for like 20 minutes cutting out one thing. I don't fussy cut anything either unless I'm really desperate for something to be perfect. So I want you to grab your scraps, start pasting them down, and in the next video we're going to start building up 1 or 2 of these pages at a time. I'm not going to do 10 because that's ridiculous, but we're going, make sure you start getting some photos of anything that you want. I like to do things in black and white because a lot of my pages have really bright in your face colors, a lot of neon pink, I'm known for it, and then I will use a really beautiful black and white stark photo as an element on the page. So are you photo ready? Will come, but next time we're going to start working on adding some colors to the backgrounds using, I'm going to show you all different mediums and all that sort of stuff, and we'll start doing all this sort of thing. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for joining me. I will put a hashtag down in the info box when I sit here for the next half an hour thinking about one. So if you do, please look at the info box, and then I want to see pictures on Instagram with that hashtag so I can look up that hashtag and see all your wonderful sewing books or vintage books, whatever you choose to work in. And it will inspire me to keep making this series because I was thinking that this series was going to go nowhere, but it seems to be taking momentum, and I want that momentum to infect me. So you posting photos of your book will make me realize how much you guys enjoy this series and will keep me going. And we might have, by the end of the year, a completely beautiful altered art journal. Take care, guys. I'll see you guys next week with a what's in my pencil case video, and I will be posting another one of these videos in next month. So we're gonna do one a month, sort of give people time. You can do more than 10 pages, believe me. I will be working on collaging through extra pages, and then in the next video, I'll show you what I've worked on. Okay, take care guys, bye.